The doctor is in.
Hi guys, it's your pal Dr. Sal again, and today we're taking a look at the ADHD drug Concerta. It's very exciting, you got a prescription for it, you're excited to get the benefit out of this drug, but what are the 5 most potential problems that people on Concerta experience within the first month? And more importantly, what are some solutions that we can use to circumvent and get around these side effects so we can derive the benefit from the drug? Let's take a look. So what are the 5 most common side effects you could expect to experience if you're first starting out on Concerta, also known as metilfenidat? Well, the manufacturer gave us a very good insight into that in a study that they ran using 102 people. And unlike most of the other studies I've quoted for these ADHD medicines, instead of running it for a month, they actually ran it for 5 weeks instead of 4. Now, to illustrate the 5 most common side effects, I'm going to draw a circular frequency chart. So this is not a pie chart. It's not going to add up to 100% when I'm finished. Now, one of the cool things that they did in their study, which is a departure from most of the other ones, is that they actually looked at the percentage of side effects by dose. So obviously, the bigger the dose of the drug is that you're taking, the higher the chance you're going to experience side effect. So I'm going to color code the 3 different strengths of this study. So anything in red is going to be at 36 milligrams. Anything in black is going to be at 72 milligrams. And anything in this light green here, lime, is going to be at 18 milligrams, the weakest dose. So let's go around the circle and start. So by far the most common side effect, affecting a full third of people at 72 milligrams, was a decrease in appetite. And that tends to be true across the spectrum of psychostimulant ADHD medicines. For the other strengths, so the reduction in appetite at 72 milligrams was 34%. At 36 milligrams, it was 22%. And at 18 milligrams, it was 20%. So just as you expect, there's a progression upwards. The higher the dose, the higher the chance of the appetite suppression. And when we finish, I'm going to go around again in a circle and explain some strategies to get around or work around some of these side effects. The next big one that people complained of in 21% of patients was dry mouth. Dry mouth. And that 21% was at the higher range of strength is 72 milligrams. For 36 milligrams, it was 7%. And for 18 milligrams, it was, strangely, 8%. Now, next big one was nausea. Nausea was in the high range group, the 72 milligram group. Nausea or upset stomach, the dosing, that was at 15% for the upper dose. At 36 milligrams, it was 16%. And as you drop down to 18, it was 8%. So again, a typical progression of what you would expect. Next 2 big deal breakers were headache and insomnia, which both came in at 17% at the higher range, 17% and 17% for headaches and trouble sleeping, insomnia. Again, you would expect the insomnia because these are psychostimulants. Now, as you work your way down the strengths, at 36 milligrams, it was 12%. And for insomnia, it was the opposite round. For headaches, it was 21%. And for insomnia, 12%. For the lower dose for insomnia. Strangely, it was the same 12%, and for headaches, when you drop down to 18 milligrams, it reduced to 16%. 16%. So this is a little unexpected. You would figure that in the mid-range dose, it should be lower than at the high dose, but that isn't how it actually panned out. That might just be an artifact of the study itself, or the cluster of people that they were studied in that study. Maybe if the study was larger or longitudinal for a longer period of time, maybe then it may have borne out what you would expect by logic. All right, so that is the main side effects to expect. The bottom line is, in general, the higher the dose, the higher the chance of experiencing one of these side effects. Now, in the real world, how do we do a workaround so you can get the benefits from the drug while adapting to it without getting these side effects? Well, first off, for the dry mouth, I have never actually had to stop anybody from taking Concerta as a consequence of it. So I'll just leave that one alone, because to me, that one is never bad enough to actually be a deal breaker. For the reduction in appetite, that's very common, and some possible solutions are to eat more towards the end of the day. At the end of the day, and the reason why for the end of the day is the largest amount of appetite suppression is when the drug is at its peak in your serum. So when you take it first thing in the morning, you already have some appetite at that point, then your appetite sinks during the day, and then it comes back towards evening. So if you eat preload in the morning for breakfast and then post-load again at night, then you can still ensure that you get your positive calorie balance. Another option is through the day here, where your appetite is suppressed, is to use meal replacement drinks. Just like bodybuilders would use, you use smoothies with a banana, protein powder, and a base mix. And you drink that through the day when you have no appetite, because it's quick, easy to push down. You don't even have to like it. So that's for appetite suppression. For insomnia, we'll often tell people to use over-the-counter melatonin. And the reason for the melatonin is it's the same chemical that your own pineal gland in your brain produces that signals it's time for you to go sleep. So it's completely natural, side effect profile minimal, because it's something you make yourself anyway. Dose ranging for that can go anywhere from 1 milligram all the way up to 10 milligrams. Other options for the insomnia, this is not my favorite, but is to use a drug, a hypnotic. I personally don't like having to use a drug to counteract another drug, but sometimes there's cases of people that had pre-existing insomnia even before they started their Concerta. So they would have needed a little push to be able to sleep anyway. So in a case like that, I might still keep the Concerta and then just add a sleeping aid, say like Imavane, Zopicone, Ambien, etc., to help them to sleep. But my first choice is typically to use melatonin. The other thing is to take the drug first thing when you get up in the morning, because Concerta is a long-acting drug. So you can't expect to take this at noon and then sleep well at 9 o'clock, because it's still going to be floating through your bloodstream. Just like you shouldn't drink coffee at 6 o'clock in the evening if you want to be sleeping at 10. Same thing with these. You take it as soon as you get up, so that the peak is before you plan to sleep, so that sleep time is back down to low levels in the serum. For the headache component, this is sometimes a little gnarly and hard to fix. Very often, if somebody keeps complaining of persistent headaches from it, I just switch the drug. So I just use a different one. There's no point putting somebody on Advil every day or Tylenol every day when it's a consequence of the drug itself. There's too many other options to feel like you're married to Concerta. So if that's the case, I just flip it. There's also some cases where if the individual kept going for a little longer, their body adapts to it and then it stops causing headaches. But if somebody reached the 5-week, 6-week mark and is still having daily headaches, I'd probably just quit it, try another one. So there you have it, guys. And remember, the most common side effect is to have no side effect at all and just all the benefits of the drug. So overall, it's a pretty well-tolerated drug. I've had a lot of success with it in my patients, and That's it for this episode of what you can expect within the first month of being on it. Thanks for watching, and I'll have more intel and info in another week.
Thanks for watching. Get notified of new videos. Subscribe now.
If you found this video helpful, support us by sharing it with all of your friends and throw us a like below. You're a star. Cheers and cheerio.